Oh boy, did my previous DayZ video get some heat in it. Listen, before I dive into a little story time, let me just put a nail in the coffin and just say this. I know that there will be people out there that dislike Frostline update. On the other hand, I know that there are people out there that will obsessively enjoy themselves playing this game. There will always remain two sides of the story, and you can't make everyone agree on one thing, which is completely fine. The world would not be the same place if everybody was agreeing with one another. It's just too boring. So with that being said, I completely understand two sides of the spectrum. I understand why people complain about some changes in the game, for instance, the inventory storage capacity. The game limits how many items you can carry once at a time. I mean, crap, your overall weight system has been reduced quite a bit. But to back this up, for one, this game adds more challenges, and by having that system already take place, it severely increases your stress in the game as is, and that's without a doubt. For two, realistically speaking, you shouldn't be able to carry a whole spare tire in your inventory, meanwhile having a full tank of gas and 2 rifles and shooting with the shotgun. But then on the other side, I can completely understand why people disapprove of it. People generally hate change. And this is a big change, considering you've been playing DayZ for as long as I have. I still think, however, that there are still people out there not understanding the whole point of this Frostline DLC. Guys, it is supposed to be extreme in terms of challenge and roughness, from just environment itself, let alone have another player on top of that just gun blazing. Also, the whole meat consumption has completely changed. I played with a friend of mine on console last night on PlayStation, and we have survived many zombie encounters. We fought against the cold, we fought through starvation and thirst, and you know what's one thing that is about to have us close our eyes once and for all? You know what that one thing is? It's a freaking salmonella. But hear me out, we didn't consume raw meat. We weren't eating zombie flesh either. We had clean hands and clothing before cooking and cutting up our meats. We know better. But let me spoil it for you, and if you don't want spoilers, I suggest skipping this part for a bit. And this will be your warning, you guys. We got salmonella in the most bizarre way possible, completely unexpected, but it perfectly makes sense. We got salmonella by eating wolf meat. You see, when you consume predator meat, you run into a chance of eating infected meat. It works the same way as finding cans in houses without a label on them. There's a chance that it could be something extremely delicious, but there's also a chance that it will make you extremely sick because you just ate dog food. Same works with predator meat. If it's an animal that eats another animal, there's a severe chance that you are risking your well-being while consuming it. Obviously, you can get lucky and eat something without having any side effects whatsoever. Happened to us a lot, actually. But then we ate one piece of meat from one specific wolf that was just trapped in a pack of them, and there's no telling which wolf it was, really. We got attacked and we cut him up and we ate one of the meats, and we got extremely sick. Supposedly, people say that by consuming a lot of multivitamins at the beginning of the game will boost your immune system, which completely makes sense, and it will certainly reduce your chances of even getting any of these side effects or infections or bacterial diseases. Once again, it perfectly makes sense. DayZ is just pushing on that realism so freaking hard nowadays. If you decide to eat meat from an animal that wasn't supposed to be consumed, you are bound to pick up some strange disease that will take you out. And I guess that's a way the game tells you, hey, you damn well know not to eat a fucking possum on the road. Take the consequences now. And it makes sense. But dang, was that not a thing last week? And I think that's what kind of took us off guard. Which goes to the first thing I said in the first place at the beginning of this video. The game is nothing but the challenge nowadays. And it's fine because it's supposed to be like that. And people will undermine the meaning of it. So now as a result, you can't just carry any meat on you. It has to come from a clean animal that is extremely clean and that is normal for consumption. And I think it's completely normal. Speaking of which, I'm not sure if the fox is even included on that list. I've had a few foxes already and there were no side effects whatsoever. Maybe I got lucky, I'm not sure. I think it's safe to consume. Seeing the consequences and what happened last night, I'm not sure. And also just a side note, the highest tier backpack doesn't mean that you can technically carry a fucking Ada with you, you guys. Realism and harshness is a new rule of the game, especially with this DLC. And it really isn't gonna surprise me if they even go further and try to reduce more things later in the game. This is just my part 2 to my original video that I made literally like 2 days ago. In my last video, people are just going after one another with disagreements and arguments, and this is just my 2 cents, honestly. And this is actually pretty funny. Somebody said, bro, $30 is not a lot for DLC. It's like buying 2 pizzas. Shit, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't know where you're buying your pizzas from, but clearly not from the same place where I'm buying it at. And then to defend the price for this DLC, they also try to go and compare the things that are overpriced in real life, and they just try to justify the price tag for this DLC. And I just think it's funny. At this point, I'm just having fun with it. Listen, if you love the DLC, you guys, that's perfectly fine. If you hate it, that is also completely perfectly fine. People are entitled to their opinions, and nobody's changing your mind. You can agree on your statement. You can support somebody on their statement. It's fine if people hate it. It's fine if people love it. Just let's be human about this whole situation, shall we? Oh, and by the way, I do like my $7 pizza.